Hello, my name is Leroy Blevins. Welcome to Mysteries and Histories. In this episode here, what I like to do is I want to talk a little bit about the evidence I've uncovered and other things into the JFK assassination. Now, like I said, I get a lot of flack from people, on my research I've done into the JFK assassination. And, I get a lot of hate mail and everything, and then people telling me this and people telling me that, or call me names as well. Okay, but people don't really understand what was accomplished in this research. And like I said, I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody else because, like I said, the evidence has always been in front of the public's eye for the past 50 plus years. All I did was come along and I made the discoveries in these films and images. But, I get a lot of flack for it, and I don't understand why. And here's the reason why I say I don't understand why. Is what I present from the films and images are answers. Okay, answers that people's been looking for. Okay, you got one side that says Oswald was a lone assassin, 3 shots were fired, and that was it. You got the other side that says it was a conspiracy, that Oswald was a patsy and stuff. All I did was come in and look for answers for people because, for the past 50 plus years, the JFK assassination, well, I've seen people argue over it. I see people said bad things about other people over it, calling people different names, calling them out their names and stuff like that, about, if they say this or say that. And to me, it's like they're arguing over it. I don't understand why they're arguing over this case when, people want to present evidence, okay? That's what you want to do. You want to present evidence. You want to close this case so it finally be solved. Okay, it's not, a person's not sit back, especially a researcher or an investigator, especially when I even started. I'm going to say me, okay? Because I'm not going to tell you how other researchers felt or anything. But me, when I started this case, I was like, I am not going to do it for the money. I'm not going to do it for change history or get that fame or glory. I just want to go in there and find the answers, okay? I'm an individual. I want to go find them answers that people's looking for because there's a lot of good questions out there, okay? And when I was reading other people's researches and stuff like that, and, I bought their books as well, going through it and everything else, I'm not finding nothing, okay? I'm finding more questions is all I'm doing. And it's like, if I didn't get in this case, okay, if I decided to turn it down from the word go, what would it be like today? Okay, just like when I went there and I did research, I did investigation and stuff. I want to make some points out here for a moment. Okay, like we have the Badge Man. Okay, we have the Badge Man. The story is told about the Badge Man for many years now. Okay, is this all they have as evidence? Is this all they can prove is right here? So it's like, wait a minute, when I go down there and and the people that backs this scum in police uniform, okay, I'm going to even say like Robert Groden. He's there every day. He's been there every day for the past quite a few years, okay? It's like he could not take 2 minutes out of his time, or any other researcher, or even the people that tells a story down here, cannot take 2 minutes out of their time and go to the location like I done. When I went down there, I went to that location to see if this Badge Man right here, which I'll pull back up, can this Badge Man be in this location and can he have a clear shot to JFK? So what I did is I go ahead, took 2 minutes out of my time to see if this can actually happen. Okay, now remember, before I even went down there, I kept on saying, this is not the badge, this is just outlines of tree stuff. I wanted to find evidence to see if it could possibly be a Badge Man as well. But as you see, when I stand in that location where he's supposedly firing his rifle at, there's no way he can have a clear shot to JFK from this location, as I point out. And we have, like I said, we have Robert Groden, we have all these other people down there every single day. And they couldn't take 2 minutes out of their time to go stand in that location where the Badge Man was and see if there was a clear shot. Okay, if you want to do research, you want to do an investigation, stuff like this is what you got to do. But, it's not like I'm trying to put people down or saying bad things about anybody. I'm never doing that. I'm just pointing out some facts here, okay? That's all I'm doing. Just like when people, I'm going to close this out and close this out for a moment. Just like when people sit there and says, here is a gunman that was found in the Orville Nix film. This guy right here. Okay, again, I was like, well, let's see if there's a possibility. Let's look at if there's a possibility. So I stand in a location where this supposedly gunman was standing when he took the shot, as someone once claimed from the Orville Nix film. And as you see right here, staying in this location, he's not even got a clear shot to the streets, period. Okay, he doesn't have a clear shot to that gunman. That gunman has not a clear shot. So when we look at that and we look at this, we're like, okay, well, you know, this is the reason why I try to point out to people on the non-conspiracy side that believes in just Oswald act alone and 3 shots fired, because you're going to pull up evidence like this. You're going to say, here's an evidence right here. Okay, this one image right here. Here's that evidence. That shows there was a badge man behind a picket fence. But when an investigator says, well, I'm going to investigate this case, or even police officers or whatever, or even the FBI, they're going to look at it and says, well, from this location here, you can't even have a clear shot to JFK where the fatal headshot occurred at. So when you're going to look at this, you're going to go, okay, well, this is false information. Okay, so they're going to laugh at the conspiracy people because that's not no evidence. You know, so you see what I'm saying? All just like when I said I get people come and, you know, attack me left and right because I present things that was found in the films and images. That's in the films and images. It's like the Mary Mormon photo. Look at the Mary Mormon photo for just a second here. Look at this image right here, the Mary Mormon photo. It's been in front of the public's eye for 50 plus years. And this is one of the most images that's talked about in the JFK assassination is the Mary Mormon photo. But, like I said, all I did was come along and I analyzed this image here. And I just looked at every possible location. Look at every little square inch. And you know, like I said, they're right there. There's a gunman here and there's a gunman here. They've been there. They've been there all this time. All these years the gunman's been there. You can see him. Here's the gunman. Here's his rifle sticking out. Here's the other gunman and rifle right here. They've always been in that. They've always been in this image. Been in this image for 55 years now. These guys been there. But no one's never even bothered paying attention looking over there. They're always looking at that picket fence area. Okay, that's all they want to do is look at that picket fence area. Just like when I sit there and says, well, you know, they said, well, the gunman was on the corner of the picket fence. Okay, let's bring up another image here. That was taken when we was down there in Dealey Plaza. Right here. Okay, and I go ahead and I present this. And it said the gunman was firing, which was James Files. James Files claimed he was further down this way, but this end, James Files is in this corner here. There was a gunman right here in this location here. Excuse me, I got to take this call. Hello, I'm back. I had to take that call. Sorry, it was very important. But as I pointed out, you know, they're going to say the gunman was here. Now, Mary Mormon took her image soon right after the headshot was fired. Okay, as you see, there is no gunman in that location. So I go to Dealey Plaza. Okay, like I always do. I go to Dealey Plaza. Oops. I go to Dealey Plaza and I go ahead and... Oops, it won't let me do it. Usually I can zoom in. I'll go zoom in now. Yeah, we can zoom in now. I go ahead and I take an image and place a guy behind a picket fence. That's what we should see. This is what we should see in the Mormon photo. Okay, there's a guy standing right there on the corner of the picket fence. But as you see in the Mormon photo, we don't see that. So I just go ahead and present this to show people, well, there couldn't have been no gunman in this location. Because even in the Zapruder film, there was nobody standing there or anything else. So when it was, we know for a fact there was no gunman on a corner picket fence. Like I said, when you go on the non-conspiracy side, like the Warren Commission report and stuff, this is why everybody laughs at the people on the conspiracy side. Because they're going to present evidence that it was a gunman right here. When we see in a Mormon photo, we see in other films and images and stuff like that, there's nobody in this location. So when I go there and I place somebody in this location, I show this image here of a person on the corner of the picket fence, okay, to prove to say, hey, you know, there wasn't no gunman there. I get flack for it, and I do. I get a lot of flack for it. But it's just like all I'm doing is presenting evidence. All I'm doing is presenting what can be seen in the films and images. When I went to Dallas, okay, I went ahead and looked for things that other people's asked. You know, they have the questions. Just like when they talk about the manhole cover. Okay, a man inside the drainage right here. Okay, as I point out, there's no way that a gunman can take a shot, clear shot to JFK from this location. Okay, get more flack from it. Just like when I pointed out, hey, well, you know, in the Zapruder film, when we watch the Zapruder film, they have the X over here, but actually the X should be over here, as you see right here. You know what I'm saying? This is where the X should be at. Not here, not here, but should be right here. Again, I point these things out because I want to know the truth. I want that answer. I need to know that answer. Just like when I sit there and look at the images like this. We have a police officer here. He knows he's standing right by the manhole cover. 2 shots were fired and, you know, taken there. Where's he doing? He's looking over this direction, saying the shots could have came from over here. He's possibly guessing at where the shots came from. I go to Dallas, and we use a laser pointer, which you could even use a stick to. You can use a stick too. And we look at that, and we, you know, trace it back, which I know the image has got to be in here because I just got done putting all the images in here. Or here it is, right next to it. That laser pointer goes right back to the same location that we see the gunman right here in the Zapruder film. So all I'm doing is basically collecting more evidence to show people. That's all I'm doing. That backs this up. Okay, now we know where the gunman was at. We know where he was firing his rifle from and everything else. Because the films and images tell us that. So I go to Dallas, Texas, and I go ahead and I find more evidence to back up what the films and images shows us and tells us. That's all I've done. But just think if I didn't do none of this stuff. If I didn't do none of this stuff. The gunman in the Mary Moorman photo would have been lost. The shots inside the shelter would have been lost. Okay, they were in front of people, but they would have been lost. Just like right here, when I point out the babushka lady turns on the light. No one's ever even bothered looking at that. Everybody watched this film and seen this, you know, these films time and time again. No one's never even bothered seeing that. Hey, the babushka lady turns on the light. Why? See, why? Okay, I had people ask me, you know, people was asking questions. Now, when I first started this case, I'm going over sites and stuff, and I'm having people ask questions. When was All Jen's image number 6 taken? When was All Jen's image number 7 taken? When was this image taken? Or when this image was taken? You know, everybody's asked questions, but nobody has that answer. So what I did was when I did my investigation, I was like, well, you know, people ask these questions, so I better, you know, answer them for them. Okay, just like these images here. Okay, All Jen's image number 6 and All Jen's image number 7. Okay, we line these up so we can see exactly when these images were taken. Well, now we know today that All Jen took his image, this image here, number 6, by frame 254 of the Zapruder film. We know All Jen image number 7 was taken by frame 394 of the Zapruder film. So now we have a time frame of when these images were taken. But if I didn't come into play and I didn't bother doing my research, you wouldn't know that information. That question would still have no answer to it. Just like when I sit there and tell people, you know, here's bullets striking the manhole cover. Okay, it's been in the film, it's been in the Zapruder film for 50 plus years. Remember, researchers claim they went over this film thousands of times. But here we have 2 bullets striking the manhole cover and a bullet ricocheting upward. Right? We go to the manhole cover today and both bullet holes are still present. Do you see what I'm saying? And to back that up, we know there were shots taken there because we know that, trying to get the image with all of them in there at one time, right here. We know this image was taken because look at all these images here. There's that manhole cover, which I'll about to shrink this because you probably can't see it. There's that manhole cover. This is where all these images was taken. This is where they retrieved a bullet lying in the grass. So now we have evidence to say, hey, wait a minute, there was more shots fired. There's more bullets retrieved from Dealey Plaza. But no one's never knew none of this information before if I didn't go into doing research into this case. This was also would have been lost. Okay, now look at this. Now we know the curb shot where James Tague was standing. We know about that shot. So we know about the 2 curb shot, the 2 shots in the manhole cover. Am I correct? Now let's look at this for a moment. Okay, when we're looking at it perspective-wise, and we're looking at it as an investigation, we got 1 bullet mark here. We got 1 bullet mark here. The curb was shot right here. Well, this is all in the same line of fire. So now we know that Oswald didn't take this shot. Am I correct? This shot came from where these two bullets came from, and these two bullets came from the rooftop of the county records building. So now we know who shot the curb next to where James Tagg was standing, the gunman on the rooftop of the county records building. But again, if I didn't come in and look for this information, again, that information would have been lost. It's there. It's always been there, but it would have been lost. So you see what I'm saying? The time frames. We wouldn't have no time frames now. For years, everybody says, well, nobody knows exactly when the shots were occurred, okay, or when the shots were taken, or anything else. Well, now we can. Now we do. Now we have this information because we could base it on the Zapruder film, like I said, starting with frame 133 when JFK's limb was first seen in the film. Okay, now we could base it when the bullets made contact with JFK, Governor Connally, or in the surroundings. Now we can place a time frame on when these shots occurred around them locations. Okay, now we have a true time frame. By this time frame, we also can pinpoint, hey, there was more assassins there because there were shots being fired at the same time. We also can get more information from here, knowing that there were shots coming from one assassin back to back, which shows that he has an automatic rifle. So now we're looking at just one Carcano rifle. So all they've been looking at is the one Carcano rifle, no other rifles. Now they talk about the Mauser, but mainly they look at that one Carcano rifle. But with the information that I retrieved from the films and images and documents and people's testimonies and stuff, and by basing everything on this stuff here, now we know that there was 5 rifles there that day. 5, well actually 6. Okay, you got 2 gunmen inside shelter number 3. You got the gunman on the 2nd floor of the county records building, a gunman on the rooftop of the county records building. Plus we know Oswald, Carcano rifle was a decoy rifle, so Oswald used another rifle. So now we have 6 rifles, but only 5 gunmen, and 1 rifle being a decoy. Now people says, well, Oswald didn't own no revolvers or rifles or nothing else like that. But I go in and look for that answers. Yes, he did. He owned this revolver here, which this is a revolver he had on his hip when we look at the backyard image of Oswald. This is the revolver that he has on his hip at that time. This revolver he sold to his brother for the sum of $10 to Robert. He sold it to Robert for the sum of $10. This is the revolver that he bought that was retrieved from him on the day of the assassination after he shot Officer Tippin when he was picked up. This revolver was retrieved from Oswald, but it was registered under A. Heidel, which is one of Oswald's alias, which indicates that he did own other revolvers and rifles before he ordered the other revolver and stuff. So see, we have more information now. We know a lot more. Okay, if I did not do none of this stuff, okay, if I didn't bother coming into it or anything else like that, a lot of this evidence would have been lost still. Okay, like I said, here's the Mormon photo. Okay, here's the Mormon photo. The gunman's been there. They've been there all this time. They've been there all this time. All this time they've been there. But no one's bothered looking for them. Just like Robert Groden, he does show this image here. He does just show this image here. All right. But, now listen, but, does he explain where that shot came from? Does he point exactly where that shot came from? Did he investigate that shot? No, he hasn't. No one has. I have. Excuse me, I got to take a drink. I pinpointed that shot to see where that shot came from. By basing everything on photographic evidence and everything else, and see when the shots actually struck right the chrome in between the sun visors. Okay. That shot came from JFK's bullet that was exiting his throat. Do you see what I'm saying? Because that dent in that chrome lies straight back to where Kennedy was sitting and aimed straight right to his throat. Okay, that's where that bullet exited JFK's throat and struck right here. It did go out to the left, as it says in the Warren Commission report. So I'm backing them up a little bit, but it did not go into Governor Connally. It passed Governor Connally's head, as you see right here, going in between the seats and striking the chrome. So see, all I did was come in to find the evidence and find the answers for people. That's all I've ever done. But like I said, I got people putting me down all the time, saying bad things about me. Just think, like I said, if I did not come into this case and if I did not bother doing any kind of research on this, okay, whatsoever, Would we know where them shots came from? Or would anybody hear most of the shots that was taken that day? Would anybody would actually know there was gunmen in these different locations? Would anybody would have known about these shots? Or even to the manhole cover, the two shots, the curb shot, I mean to the manhole cover shots? No. Nobody would know this difference. Just like when I sit there and see the two people in that one film, where one guy stands up and goes by the pillar and looks over. Today we know where he was looking at. He was looking right here. He was looking at the shelter. So see, when I was there, I made sure I covered a lot of this stuff so I can have the answers for the people, because that's what the people want. But like I said, there's a lot of things that I've discovered. There's a lot of, and that was discovered in the films and images taken that day. All I did is found them, piece them together, find the answers, and there you go. Just like I said, when you look at the Mormon photo, now, I keep on bringing this up, and there's a reason why I keep on bringing this up, excuse me, is because this one image here, two gunmen has been in there from day one. Soon she took it, the second that she took this image, them gunmen was there. When this image was first viewed, when this image was first seen, them gunmen were there. The gunmen were right here, in front of their face, right in front of their face. But nobody's bothered looking for them because everybody keeps on pushing over here to the picket fence area, or the Daltex building, I mean, not Daltex, but yeah, Daltex building, or to Texas School Book Depository. Instead of looking and say, hey, wait a minute, these guys are sitting there. They've been there for all this time. Just like, let's go into Orville Nix film for a minute. Let's look at the Orville Nix film. I'm not trying to make a long video. I'm sorry about this. But, these are things that really bother me. And people don't understand why it bother me. Okay. But right here, an Orville Nix film. For the past 55 years now. Orville Nix captured a shot, the fatal headshot coming from shelter number 3. He captured that. And then when you zoom in on the window and stuff, you see the gunman's head, the rifle flash, sparks from the rifle, and the smoke trail. Okay. The fatal headshot. Orville Nix captured the fatal headshot to JFK. And it's been in his film for 55 years. But in that time, no one else. Now I'm eliminating me for a moment. No one else seen that shot. So that shot, if it wasn't for me finding that shot, no one would know nothing about it. So it'd be like this again. Do you see what I'm saying? It'd be like this again. Just like the shot to Governor Conley. Again, we go back to the Orville Nix film. The Orville Nix film shows us. The Orville Nix film shows us. We got the close-up right there. We got the close-up of the Orville Nix film. Showing that the shot to Governor Conley as he was turning off to his left came from shelter number 3. On the side of shelter number 3. On the side. Came from shelter number 3. And even in this frame here. Okay, even in this frame here, you can still see the gunman right here with this rifle pulling his rifle in, because you see a lot of motion in there as you watch the film. Okay. But, like I said, when we look at the Orville Nix film, he's been telling us in his film has been telling us that the fatal headshot and the shot to Governor Conley came from shelter number 3. That's what his film is telling us, where those shots came from. The Zapruder film just shows us the opposite side of it, showing where the bullets made contact with. Okay, but the Orville Nix film is telling us the fatal headshot and the shot to Governor Conley came from shelter number 3. Same as the Mormon photo. Mormon photo shows us and tells us the two gunmen that took the fatal headshot to JFK and took the fatal headshot to JFK and the shot to Governor Conley are right here inside the shelter. This is the gunman that took the fatal headshot to JFK. This is the gunman that took the shot to Governor Conley as he was turned off to his left. That's what the Mormon photo is telling us. Not behind the picket fence, from shelter number 3. So you see, what I'm saying is this. I get people give me hatred mail every day. Okay, when I just got done posting a video here earlier today, and again, because I'm showing evidence and I'm showing what I'm talking about, I got 2 emails right after it. saying, you know what, you should give up on this. You should get away from this because you don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. You're this. Even call me trash. Some person called me, I'm just nothing but trash. I'm lower than dirt. You know, I don't believe in saying stuff like that. I can hate the, well, I can't say I hate a person because there ain't nobody I've never said I hate it because I really don't hate nobody. I love everybody. I don't like their ways. I can say that. I can say, you know, I can't stand what they're, you know, this person, that person, but I don't hate nobody. I can never hate nobody or say anything bad about somebody. I can never call somebody out of their name. Okay. And it's just, you know, people don't understand that, but this is the way I've been raised, you know. I, I've been raised respect. Respect is the main thing, respect. Respect and don't lie. Tell the truth and have respect. Because they could take a lot of things from a person, but if they take if they take you and turn you into a liar, and if they take respect from you, you have nothing left as a person. But I just, you know, I'm not presenting evidence to start arguments. I'm not presenting evidence to start fights or saying who's better or one thing or another. I present the evidence because this is what the films and images shows us, and this evidence needs to be seen. It's always been in front of the public's eye. Like I said, don't blame me because I'm the one that found it and brought it out to the public. Look at the other researchers. They had the opportunity. They had the time to present the gunman inside of the shelter number 3. They had 50 years, okay, or even 40 years. Now we'll look at 40 years because some of these researchers have 40 years. They've been in it, okay, or some of them said it from day one they was been into it. But they had all that time. They've been staring them right in the face the whole time. When they even look at this image here, they've been over here. The 2 gunmen inside shelter number 3, always been there. Just like I sit there and I said, you want to prove a point, okay? And like I said, they're there every day. And this is what really gets me. They're there every single day. And these are the people pushing the stories, making their money and everything else like that. Because even when I was there, you know, somebody sit there and when I was getting this image taken here, someone walked around and says, hey, you know that's where the badge man was standing? And I said, yeah. And they said, that guy told me just right up the street here, that guy told me that's where that throat shot came from. And I said, could you come around here, please, for a moment? And they said, okay. And they came around. And I said, now look that direction that way right there. Now, can you tell me, does that gunman have a clear shot? And he says, well, I can't see it. You know, he's trying to says, could he have been standing on something? I said, no, he wasn't standing on nothing. It's supposed to be, he's right there at fence level because the fence level is supposed to be like right in this location here. And he says, how's he going to get a clear shot to JFK from here? I said, he'd be striking this wall. He's even said that. For him standing there, I said, just saying, see, that's why I said there's a lot of things. I'm here to do my own investigation, but just erase the badge man. That's the only thing I told him. Erase the badge man because, and he was actually still scratching his head as I was walking away. He's like, you don't have no shot. He looked over me as I was walking away. Yeah, you don't have no shot. I said, there you go. So you see, like I said, Robert Groden and all these people down there are there every single day. They could not take 2 minutes out of their time to walk around that fence just to look and say, well, no, a shot cannot be taken from here. You know, so this is not really fitting my story. But they don't do that. They just want to say, here's the badge man. Here's the photo of the badge man. He was right behind the picket fence, right there in that location. And that's all they want to do, just push that story there. But as a research investigator, if I lived down in Dallas, I'd be there every single day, going over everything all the time. Okay, I'll be going over everything all the time if I was there every day like they are, you know. But like I said, you know, I want to present some of the stuff here and show people some stuff. You know, I'm not trying to be over better than anybody else or anything like that. I'm not saying I'm better. It's just, you know, I got to give myself credit because, you know, people's been putting me down so much lately where they're trying to make me feel bad. Sometimes it does work when they make me feel bad, especially when they call me out of the name or they bring my family into it, which really gets me upset, especially when they bring my family into it. You don't talk about my family. It has nothing to do with my research. My family has nothing to do with my research. Okay, and then some people sit there and says, well, I feel sorry for your kids because someone wrote me an email 2 weeks ago Says, I feel sorry for your kids. They got stupid father stuff, so your kids must be really dumb. Hey, my kids are smart. I got one kid, my oldest son, he's got health problems and stuff, but he's in college. He's becoming a teacher. Okay, my wife, she has degrees. My second oldest son, hey, he's smart as whip. He knows computers inside out. He knows every electronical thing and everything else. My other son, he knows everything about about war and rifles and everything about military from the Civil War on up to now, even some back then. My other son, he's smart as a whip as well. So see, don't bring my family into it, okay? That's one thing I can never stand is people bringing my family into it and don't say anything bad about my family. But that's when really things gets me upset right there, is when people say stuff like that. All I want to do is just make my videos, present my evidence, write my book, sell my book. People want to know the information. If they want to buy my book, okay, they can. If they don't have to. If they don't like what I put in my videos or what information I give out, then they don't have to watch my videos. Okay, I'm not forcing anybody to do any of this stuff. Okay, I'm presenting the truth. I'm presenting evidence that was taken that day. Okay, and I'm coming up with I'm finding the answers that people's been asking all these years. That's all I've been doing. So, this video has went long enough. Always in the description down below, you find a site where you can order my book, Evidence of Conspiracy, the only book you ever need in JFK assassination. Share this information to other information from my other videos so other people may know this information, because this information needs to be getting out. Okay, Mary Mormon needs to get credit for, hey, she took an image of the two gunmen. The gunman that took the fatal headshot JFK and the gunman that took the shot to Governor Connolly. She needs that credit. She needs that love. She needs that respect. Oral Nick's the same thing. His granddaughter and him, they need to know, hey, if it wasn't for these people here, this case would still be never solved. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to make this video here. So again, don't forget that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. Thank you and have a pleasant day.